Okay, I am back and I think I have resolved this issue, and I'm not sure what the problem is, but this is something I will definitely research more later on. But for now, what we're going to do is instead of passing the entire asset object, for some reason it doesn't like that, so we're just going to pass the file name into the template, and then we'll just use that file name to load the asset in the view side of it, or in the template side. So here you can see, let's go ahead and open up those CSS files again. Where are they? Got to go into oops, wrong one. Okay, here we are. Let's go ahead and open these up again. Open them up. Okay, so here we are. We have our black, our green, our gosh dang it. All right, get that west open. So background color black, text color green for our west. Background color black, text color red. So if we were to set this default to east instead of west, now this color should change to red. And it worked. Cool. Okay. So here we go for our action index. We're just going to have this as our CSS file. And then if we copy this down to these other two, now we'll make this our east page, our west page. We'll keep that main CSS in there, and then for east we'll have it east, and for west we'll have it west. And we'll load that same view. So it defaults to east, right? So now if we go to index east, it should be that. And index west should be the other one. That doesn't make sense. Let's make sure that this is working properly. Oh, east west slash west should be green. East west slash east should be red. I am sorry, this video is full of confusion. So east west slash nothing is the index, which defaults to east, or defaults to west. Index slash east should give us east, which is red. And index slash west should give us west, which is green. Now let's say that we didn't default a color here. And I am honestly not sure what will happen if we do this. So let's say that our main page is black and white. Cool. So our main page we'll do something like this. First of all, remember in a previous lesson we did the if is set east or west. Then we will give them that CSS file. So now let's see if it works. No, I gotta save it. Now let's see. There we go. So the default is white, let's say, and now if we go to the west, it should be green. And if we go to the east, it should be red. All right, so we've got these different CSS files loading dynamically into our view. This is really good. So now you can see this is really clutch because now let's say, right, and I will give you a quick nav bar example and then I will end this video, but let's say instead of a template header, we had our nav bar, right? And inside of it, we have an unordered list. And then inside of that, we have some items. Home, about, we'll say east, west, or something, right? And I haven't added any links in here, and that's because I guess I should add some in there. I don't want to go too in-depth in this example because this is something that we have done before. You know? And then close all these ones out. Close this one out. Okay, cool. So now if we load our, let's go back to our main page and see what it looks like. Okay, so now let's go ahead and style This main page we'll just do something like nav. We'll take away the list decoration, the style type, none. Display inline block. Oops. Okay. So there we go. We'll get rid of the padding left. Set that to 0. One unordered list has a default left padding. And then we'll take these items and just pad them as 10, 10, 10, and 10 for now. Right? And set it. I'm just adding some styles so you can see it. So here's our default nav, let's say. Something like that. And I haven't done any positioning because I don't really need to. We could do position, if we wanted to, we could do position fixed, and then we could set top to 0 and left to 0. So what this does is it fixes it at the top of the containing element, which is, oh sorry, not fixed, absolute is what we want. Yeah, let's not mess around with that today. Let's just go with what we got. All right. So what we could do is we could take our body and set the margin to 0 and the padding to 0, so that the body is just like a div, and it's not, yeah. And then we could take our main and set the padding to 5. Let's say. More appropriate to use margin in this situation, honestly. So here we are. I mean, we could obviously look at this. The nav doesn't have any padding. The unordered list has a margin, so we could take this or margin and get rid of it so that it is margin list. And now this main, I don't know why there's a space in here, but there just so happens to be. I am unsure why. Oh, because this header has spacing. Whatever, okay. So we've got our main nav bar, right? Now we'll go ahead and make, I believe west is the one that has the top nav bar. So we'll just go ahead and override these styles so that the background color is now, like, let's say gold, and the we'll make the links, we'll color those as purple, let's say. I honestly don't know. So here we go. So now if we go to west, let's see how this looks, right? And maybe we'll set this color to gold as well so that the scheme is consistent. So here's my west page. So I've got my home page. I've got my west page. Right? And then let's say my east, I want to have that sidebar, right? So, and we'll make this light blue, I don't know. So we've got our nav, and we do position fixed. And then we, remember how we force it to the left, right? So we do width is 20%. And then we take the items display block. Let's just see where we're at. So let's go to east. Okay. Let's do text align or whatever. Can we get those to center up? Maybe. Perfect. Make this 15 instead. margin right of 20 pixels. And then we'll take our main, we'll set the left margin to 20%, let's just say. And we'll take the entire body and set a margin top of 20 pixels to move everything down. There you go. Okay, so here's my index page, so we'll make that 10. Okay, so now remember, I've only have one view. So this is what's so cool is I now have my main view, my west view, and my east view. And I've just changed these, edited these CSS files, but look, this index.php view, this text has remained the same, right? All this is, everything has remained the same in my template and in my view, right? So that's all I'm doing is changing the CSS. Now the final trick that we should probably do in here is function get index. So remember, one of the requirements of the assignment is that you can get the east-west thing out of the parameter, out of this. So if they were to do, what does the assignment say? Get direction get parameter changes it. So if we had a parameter called east-west and then we had something called direction equals east, let's say, we want to be able to change this CSS using this get parameter. So we do a get index. So if they perform the get operation on our index page, then we're going to make sure that we can get that parameter. So first of all, I'm going to do is set underscore get and then direction. And otherwise, I'll just return this default view, let's say. And I gotta wrap this in parentheses so that it doesn't get mad. So now, if the direction is set, we'll set direction equal to $ underscore get of direction. And then honestly, you know what's going to be crazy? So if direction has to be either east or west, right? Well, this is actually a bad idea, because if they enter in something that's not east or west, it's going to break. So if direction, I believe we can do stream comparison like this in PHP. I hope we can. Then this template remember how we were doing this east or west down here, so honestly we'll just do copy that. East or west equals east. Else if, and honestly let's just default to west. So what will happen is, or honestly we shouldn't do that, we'll just do $direction equals west, and then finally we just default to, we just don't do anything in the other scenario, okay? So now we don't really need this else, because remember, inside of our template we are checking to see if this variable is set. So if it's not set, then we'll be fine. So now let's see if we can make this work. So if we put a parameter direction here, there we go, look at that, look how cool that is. So all we're doing is we're getting that get parameter using our $get, making sure it's set, and then we're just doing, if it's east, set the CSS to east, and if it's west, set it to west. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this in the template open for a second so that if you need to pause the screen and look at this code, you can. And then obviously you will be editing your CSS files however you want, right? So you don't have to worry about that so much. But now you'll have to, on your own, figure out how to do these links. I've found that there's a lot of ways to do them, and I haven't got to play around enough with the link pathing in here to know if if you can use relative links. Does that make sense? Like I don't know if you can do href equals dot dot slash east, for example. If we could try it, right? It's worth a shot. So if, let's say we did this, right? I don't think this is gonna work, and I'll explain to you why in a second, but yeah, it doesn't work. Well, if we do this though, does it work? No, it does not. Slash east, go back. So we have to somehow append the like append our thing to it somehow. I don't know how we can do that. So the current path. So there's a way to do it, right? So you just have to get this to be this. So you'll have to do some trial and error. But for now, what I'm just trying to demonstrate to you is how to go to the different pages based off the URLs, how to get the parameter in there, right? And how the CSS can change. We haven't even changed any of the HTML. That's why this is so cool. So go ahead, play with this. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this helps you get this assignment done. Because once you figure this out, then it's just the same thing that you did before, and you should be able to do that. So I hope you all have a good weekend, and I hope you're able to get this assignment done now that you have an idea of how to do it. So have a good weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday.